So many of you predicted this. Honestly, I can't tell you. I didn't believe this when I saw it. Stay tuned and you're going to hear more about Shamu. Hello, my friends. It's Nanny from Nanny and the Moose. I have a big smile on my face today, as you can see. First of all, before I begin anything, in my last video, we thought Shamu was gone. We hadn't seen him for days. We saw the remnants of a fight. We know the coyotes are around, and you saw the video, the last one. I was a wreck. Colleen was here to comfort me. Moose was here. And we left for San Diego 2 days, 2.5 days after we just couldn't find Shamu anymore. And I want to thank you. I am overwhelmed with the response that I got. And it proved to me, number one, so many of you are caring, lovely, wonderful people. Everybody is. And you realized the importance of a pet. Yes, it's not the same as having someone dear to you die, but losing a pet for so many of us is so important. Pets are unconditional lovers. There are companions, especially those of you who are alone. I know so many of you ladies have pets that are your best friends. And you recognize that with my grief with Shamu. And I want to thank you so much. I think we had over 500 responses and comments because you felt my sadness. And thank you so much. But so many of you said, he could be hiding, hurt. Sometimes that happens with animals. They go away for a while until they try and heal themselves. And I think that this might have happened. Now, we went away 2.5, almost 3 days after this happened. And we looked almost every minute of every day, calling Shamu, couldn't find him. So we left for San Diego for the weekend, feeling that it was over for Shamu. And we went down to San Diego to spend the weekend with our son Mikey, his wife Sabrina, and the 3 little kids. And yes, it did bring our spirits up. It was good for me especially to be with the children and the family. So after our about 2.5 hour drive home Sunday night, I pulled up the driveway, and as we were coming up, I said to Moosey, I half expect Shamu to be sitting in the chair waiting for us in your chair, like he always does. And of course, we arrived, and no, he wasn't there. But over the weekend, I did come to grips with losing a Shamu, and I grieved, but the happiness of being there was great. So we unpacked. Moosey came inside, and I decided what I wanted to do for supper. And I walked out into the shed, and we have a freezer out there, and I got some shrimp, I think, out of there. And I came back and used it. And then I remembered that for the morning, I better get my True Whip for my coffee out of the freezer. So I went out again, and as I was coming out, I heard this little meow coming from up in the rafters. And I looked up. I do know that this does happen sometimes after a very bad fight with an animal, a predator, but I couldn't believe it. By this time, it was, I think, 4 days since this had happened. And Colleen and Michael were right behind us. They had been out shopping, so they were up in the driveway unpacking, and I ran out of the shed, and I said, Colleen, Shamu is back. And Shannon was with him, and they all, oh my God, is she okay? I said, I don't know. So I said, please help me, come down. So Colleen came running down, And she looked up and she said, he seems fine. His face is a bit battered. And yes, I could kind of see that. I was about 6 feet away from him. And she coaxed him out across the rafters. And there's a place on the side of the hill that the cats have always been able to get into the shed. And he actually even jumped down from the wall. It was about 5 feet. So obviously his body wasn't hurt, but his face was he had a cut here. And then this one side of his face was swollen. And she said, I think he lost an eye. And I thought, oh no. But as it turned out, it was swollen. So he was fine. He was happy. He walked very slowly right into the house. Colleen said, oh my gosh, while you were gone, I took the litter box away just so you wouldn't feel bad when you came home. I said, oh, she said, I'm going to go get it. So she ran up, she filled it up, she brought that down. And I filled up some water very quickly in the kitchen and some food. And he went right in and he started drinking water and eating. Now, I don't know much about when cats get injured and how long they can last like that, but obviously he must have had some source of water. Did he leave the shed? Did he not? I don't know the answer to these questions. But to make a long story short, since we've been home, and it's been 2 or 3 days, he has been sleeping most of the time under the bed. He does not want to go out. So he has been traumatized, and I would love to know the habitual habits of animals when they get hurt. Do they remember? Are they afraid to go on with their normal routine? I don't know, but the cat is fine. Margie, who is my registered nurse, came up the next day, and she has an arsenal of pet medicines, antibiotics and antiseptics and various other things. They have always have several dogs and cats. And of course, she has a chicken coop with lots of chickens. So she looked at him and she said, yes, his eye is there. He's fine. He has a cut on his nose. It's not bleeding. There's no problems with anything. She cleaned him up with antiseptic. She gave him some antibiotics. And she said, as long as he is drinking, eating, purring, peeing, and pooping, he looks fine. And he would jump up into her lap or mine. He was very good about letting us administer aid to him. So that's the scoop. He's been sleeping a lot. He's inside. He's very needy, but he's here. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, friends, for all of your lovely, wonderful comments. Hello. How are you? You okay? Yes, you're purring. Huh? So, while Margie was here, Margie and her bread making. She brought us up a beautiful loaf of bread. She's really into the bread, making all kinds of bread. So I have the bread here, and I am making a soup for supper. So we're going to have Margie's bread. This one, I took a little piece off the end, and it looks like a nice plain brown bread. She does all kinds of breads. One of these days, I'm going to give you this recipe for her basic bread. 4 ingredients. Colleen has already made it, a nice big round mound. Delicious. So I'll give you the recipe in the next video. Maybe I'll even get Margie to come on one of these days and tell you about her wonderful cooking or her chicken raising and all the other fun things that she does. As you can see, I've been wearing my readers lately. I have made my appointment. Tomorrow I have my eye exam with my doctor, and I still haven't found a pair of glasses that I want. These were fixed, but then this one went wonky, and this one is pressing up against my eye, and they're crooked, so I can't even wear these right now. Haven't found the exact frame that I want. I do want a tortoiseshell again, the nice round ones. We'll see whether it'll be the glasses that I buy from the optometrist, which will probably be double, something I might get at Walmart or wherever, but I'll keep you posted on that. So my soup has started in the kitchen. I've got my roux going with my fennel. Always use fennel now. I just love the slight taste. and my onions and celery and everything. And Moosey and I have decided we're going to make a red soup. I have some leftover meatloaf and some pulled pork, and that'll be the meat entry. And then I'm going to use some spicy diced tomatoes. I'm even going to throw in a can of creamy basil. You know, I do that semi-homemade type thing with my soups. Some pasta. I have some leftover mushrooms, and it's going to be a delicious red soup with Margie's bread tonight. Here is my tomato soup with all sorts of goodies in it. Put some pasta in, tomato basil soup, diced spicy tomatoes, broth, and leftover meat. It's going to simmer for a while until the pasta's ready, and then we'll eat with Margie's bread. All cut, bread, buttered and cut, and ready to put in the oven to warm up. So I think I told you a couple of videos ago that I was looking for a sewing machine for our granddaughter Ryan, and it's our 21st birthday present for her. She recently turned 21 and she is dying to sew. She is such a fantastic girl. She sells clothes on Poshmark, and she has always remade clothes. We'll take a sleeve off and fix that and cut something here, or cut a hem off and make something out of other things. And that's what she wants to do. And so we had a date. She was coming home yesterday for her spring break from college. And I did find a machine last week, and I'll tell you about that. And we were so excited. We were going to have a couple of lessons this week with her. And I told her I found a machine, and everybody was all excited. Well, the machine came. I bid on eBay for the same exact machine that I have. It's a Singer Advance. And I'll show you a picture of it. I'll put one on. And I just loved it because it's an electronic machine that has a little computerized thing on the right-hand side of a whole bunch of stitches, fancy ones, embroidery type stitches. And all you have to do is push a button. None of that changing those little things we used to have to put on machines in the old days. Now, as you know, I've sewn since I was 7. My mother showed me how to sew then. And I've made a million things over the years, everything. And so I took the machine to my guy here locally who services my sewing machines. And he tuned it up and gave it an oil and lube job. And you have to do that with your sewing machines, just like you do with a car. Cleaned it, and he did find a little quirk in the bobbin case. It had been bent a little. He fixed that. All done. The machine, he said, is perfect. By the way, I outbid 19 people on eBay to get this machine, and I wound up paying only a little over $100. Have you ever bid on eBay? It gets your heart going, really. And as you watch it down in 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and you might up your bid a little bit, it's fun. But I won. It came. And then I wanted to get it like a brand new machine. So I picked that up this morning, all ready to go. Meanwhile, poor Ryan came home yesterday with a horrendous flu from college. Headache, fever, the whole works. She's in bed, and probably we won't be able to do this. This is her spring break, poor kid. So, but the machine is here. And I'm so thrilled that I found the one I wanted. Looked everywhere for machines. It's hard to buy a sewing machine these days because there's no one there to help you. They're in boxes in Joann's and Walmart and every place. Where do you buy a machine? I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited to finally get this to her. I don't know when, but I'm on my way to the Bob Sew and Vac, where I took Ryan's machine to have it oiled and lubed and looked over and make sure that it's all in good working order for her. And can't wait until she sees the machine. This is exactly like mine, except it has a really wonderful big extension to go on the side that clips on here, and that usually is extra, pays about $80, and that came with it too. So, does some beautiful stitches. This is the part I love about my machine. Mine's just like this, and I love it. So they put it in perfect order. These are some of what the stitches look like. They did some. So the machine is all ready for poor Ryan when she gets better. So while I was out, guess what I realized? It's Super Tuesday. 30% off for seniors at you-know-where, my Savers Thrift Shop. Now, I have not been to Savers because of my broken meniscus since way before Thanksgiving. Can you believe it? I can't. So I picked up my machine, and I only had to go less than a mile, and couldn't even park in front of the place. It was so crowded, just so crowded. And it wasn't the best day there. Some days you see stuff you love, whatever. Now, I don't need to be carting stuff in. You know, I'm trying to get stuff out. But do you like my sweater? As you know, I love a cowl neck, especially because it's away from my neck. It's nice and oversized, and I can't tell you how cozy it is. I think I paid $4 for it, and it's oversized, and the color is mustard. It's not a color that I've worn much, but I think it's great, and on these few weeks left we have of cold weather, it's still rainy-ish, coldish. This is great. Picked up a couple of other things too. A pot. Now, can you believe that? Not very exciting, but I needed another pot in my kitchen. Kind of a mid-sized pot. What else? Oh, a buffalo check vest, kind of a cute one. And I think I found a Waterford vase. Beautiful. Not a big one, but for when the flowers start blooming in the spring, I can cut them and bring them in, and we can put them down in Moosey's world. So I had a fun little day. Not a great day. The jewelry was not exciting. Not that I need jewelry, but as you know, thrifting is all about the thrill of the hunt, right? And I put just a little bit on of our weekend just to show you these fun children. We went out to dinner that night to Red Lobster, and oh, did we have a feast. And we went to yogurt in the afternoon. I told you how I go there with the little girls, and we pay it forward. Hey, there we are, having our yogurt. But we can't find anybody to pay it forward, can we? Can we, Megan? No, we'll try and find a nice little lady or a little man. We always pick out someone coming in the door that we would like to pay for their yogurt. And once it was a little old lady. I say little old lady, I'm probably older than she was, but she was all alone, and she came in and filled up her cup, and little Megan said, I choose her. And when she got up to the counter, we had told the boy that was taking care of the money that we were going to pay for that lady's yogurt. And when he told her that, he said, those little girls over there. She turned around, she came over to our table, and she said, no one has ever done anything as nice as this for me in my whole life. That, first of all, that was sad to hear, but we did it. And the girls were so elated. They have not forgotten that. That first time was probably 2 years ago. And every time we go down now, and by the way, she said, may I hug you? And she did. She hugged the girls. But we've done this. Every time we go down there, they always want to go to yogurt and pay it forward, and that's kindness. And we did find a gentleman, a man this time, who had the biggest smile when he heard that, turned to the girls and thanked them so much and said it was such a nice thing to do, and that day or the next day he was going to pay it forward too. He was going to find someone and pay forward, whether it's in a drive-through, at McDonald's, or wherever. And that's what you love about those kinds of things. Our dinner at Red Lobster was absolutely delicious. You gonna eat all that? Lucy had a great combination of coconut shrimp and regular shrimp. Just a great looking dinner. And Dane had the 2 Maine lobsters like I did and some shrimp Alfredo. Look at all our lobsters there, and that's only half of them.
My tummy's
She's
full.
Oh, you're full already. There's too much broccoli. Well, I have a lot to do. I have to finish my soup, and I have to edit this because I would like to get this up to you tomorrow. Thank you again so very much for your wonderful comments and your expressions of sorrow for me. I know you understood that when I thought Shamu was gone, you were there with me. Thank you so much. And I will let you know how everything turns out with the machine and Ryan and my eye exam tomorrow. I'm thinking of doing a Q&A in the next video. Ooh, that was the machine. I was just holding it. I really want to find out what you're wanting. I, being an 86-year-old woman, what do you want to hear from an 86-year-old woman, or what do you want to see? I know I have a lot of subscribers that are younger, and I know they're maybe looking forward to what it might be when they're in their 80s. And I'm trying to be so realistic about everything. This is the year that I say I'm falling apart. I'm not really, but actually things have happened just since I turned 86 that, the arthritis setting in and everything. And I want to kind of keep you all up on that, but I don't want to be a downer about that. But, I'm a believer in the fact that I still feel like I felt all those years. My head, my brain, I still have the same likes. I still have the same hobbies. I love to do so many different things. My body's not the same. It doesn't always cooperate. But inside, I am still the same old me. And I still want to look good. I want to have fun with kids and Moosey. And my Moosey. Yeah, we can't do the things we did, but that's okay because we have other things we can do. So when I do the Q&A, try and think about what you would like to see. Do you want to see more of me doing makeup? If so, it'll be realistic makeup. My face is not what it was, nor is my body. But I still love the same clothes I loved then. I still like to do the same things I did then. And even though I don't have as much hair, I'm trying hard to do some of the same hairdos. What are you going to do? Goodbye, my friends. Thanks so much for being here with me. And we're almost at 50,000 subscribers. Why don't you check and see if you're still subscribed? Some people say that somehow the subscription that they had seemed to disappear. Check and see if you're still subscribed. And if you're not yet, please like, follow us, and comment. We would love it. Goodbye for now. I love you all so much, and God bless us all.